Archaeologists and anthropologists agree that Neanderthals were adept hunters, but the question remains, what was the basis of their proficiency? How did they capture and dispatch their quarry, and what tools and methods did they utilize? The answers, these experts assert, are embedded in the archaeological record. Rich with clues about Neanderthal hunting practices, including their remains, tools, and debris, this record shows that Neanderthals either thrust or launched their spears at their prey, often simultaneously and in strategically chosen spots. This information paints a complex portrait of the survival strategies of our nearest ancient relatives. But before we delve further, here is a brief information about who were the Neanderthals. In 1856, quarry workers unintentionally unearthed some bones from a cave, which tumbled 65 feet down the steep inclines of Neander Valley, Germany. Rescued by the quarry owner, these fossils ignited the scientific exploration of human history. The bones were unmistakably human, yet distinctly different. The limbs were robust, the ribs notably curved, and the partial skull featured a pronounced brow ridge and elongated shape. Initial interpretations by some scholars suggested the remains belonged to a deformed individual, or perhaps a Cossack soldier afflicted with rickets. However, geologist William King took a significant step by naming the specimen Homo neanderthalensis, marking it as the first scientifically recognized fossil hominin, though it was initially viewed with disdain. In his 1864 publication in the Quarterly Journal of Science, King proposed that the creature's mental capacities and desires were limited to those of an animal. Genetic research has established that Neanderthals are closely related to us, sharing a common lineage. During a period of geographic separation, each group accumulated genetic differences that nearly led to them becoming distinct species, which could have prevented interbreeding. However, these groups encountered and interbred with each other multiple times as modern humans expanded into Eurasia starting around 100,000 years ago. Physically robust and short, Neanderthals were well suited to the harsh conditions of Ice Age Europe. They had craniums as large as their contemporary Homo sapiens, and, contrary to the brutish stereotype, they created complex weapons, buried their dead, and utilized a wide array of resources, including medicinal plants and bird feathers. April Nowell, a prehistoric archaeologist at Canada's University of Victoria, describes them as intelligent, well-adapted, and flexible. However, Neanderthals might have exhibited a different type of intelligence. They were adept at practical tasks and also displayed aesthetic abilities. Their rare production of symbolic items like beads leads some anthropologists to argue that Neanderthals lacked symbolic thinking or language capabilities. Yet others contest this view, pointing out that Neanderthals shared several anatomical adaptations for speech with us, including a genetic variant associated with language skills. The discovery of hyoid bone from a specimen known as Kibara 1 from a cave in Israel of the same name shows they had similar speech capabilities as humans. Also, cave paintings found in Spain, now attributed to Neanderthals, show they were capable of abstract thought and complex symbolic behavior, much like Homo sapiens. The disappearance of Neanderthals is viewed by some researchers as a genuine extinction event, while others argue that Neanderthals were not entirely extinct, but rather absorbed into the modern human gene pool. The fossil evidence on this issue remains inconclusive. Certain specimens from the European Upper Paleolithic era have been suggested as possible Neanderthal modern human hybrids, although these interpretations have faced scrutiny. Mitochondrial DNA analyses of Neanderthals and Upper Paleolithic modern humans have shown no signs of interbreeding. However, recent studies on Neanderthal nuclear DNA indicate some level of mixing, about 4% of the genome in non-Africans examined may be derived from Neanderthals, suggesting that some interbreeding likely occurred in the Near East during the initial human migration out of Africa before reaching Europe. Yet, demographic models of this genetic admixture, combined with territorial expansions, suggest that such genetic integration would result from very low interbreeding rates, less than 2%, and significant reproductive barriers between Neanderthals and modern humans, which does not support the theory of assimilation. Given the ongoing analysis of the Neanderthal genome and ancient DNA from early modern Europeans dating back to the Upper Paleolithic, along with the recent identification of a third potentially coexisting species from Denisova Cave, it is too early to definitively state that the observed level of admixture equates to assimilation. Despite this genetic contribution, Neanderthal populations in Europe disappeared abruptly from the fossil record. Several theories have been proposed to explain this disappearance, including competition with modern humans, either directly or indirectly, or worsening environmental conditions as significant contributing factors. It goes without saying that Neanderthals left behind a substantial record of their existence prior to their disappearance, providing archaeologists and anthropologists with valuable insights into their survival strategies. While Neanderthals were omnivorous according to their anatomical structure, experts believe they predominantly consumed meat, largely due to the limited availability of plant resources in their cold habitats. This is further supported by the chemical analysis of various skeletons, which indicates a strong preference for animal-based diets. Their diet mainly included large prey, such as reindeer and red deer, but Neanderthals also hunted a variety of other large animals, including horses, bison, aurochs, mammoths, and woolly rhinoceroses. Moreover, research suggests that Neanderthals hunted enormous straight-tusked elephants, animals so large that a single kill could potentially feed up to 100 individuals for a month, assuming such large groups of Neanderthals existed. Given the large size of their prey, it is highly unlikely that Neanderthals could have successfully hunted without the use of weapons. Evidence of sharpened sticks found at multiple Neanderthal sites suggests that spears were their primary hunting tool. Some of these spears were tipped with wood, while others were enhanced with sharpened stones. Regardless of the materials used or the methods of construction, there is compelling evidence that Neanderthals employed these spears in their hunting efforts. The remains of Neanderthal-age animals show injuries that match the size and shape of these spear tips. Further detailed examination of these injuries indicates that Neanderthals predominantly used a thrusting technique, driving the spear tips directly into their prey. However, recent theories from some experts propose that Neanderthals might also have thrown their spears, as indicated by trauma found in their arm and shoulder bones, likely resulting from repetitive throwing motions. Regardless of whether they actually hurled their weapons, archaeologists and anthropologists emphasize that the Neanderthals' strategy of spear thrusting was particularly effective for ambushing disadvantaged prey. Indeed, some research suggests that Neanderthals strategically pursued animals in specific locations such as ditches, depressions, and blind spots where they were easier to kill. Evidence from these hunting sites indicates that Neanderthals alternated between selective and non-selective hunting practices. While they sometimes targeted specific species or individuals, at other times they would kill any accessible animal, later selecting the best specimens for butchering and consumption. Overall, their hunting strategy relied heavily on exploiting natural traps in the landscape and required close cooperation among groups. For instance, experts believe that taking down a single straight-tusked elephant would have involved a significant number of Neanderthals, with the subsequent butchery process requiring 3 to 5 days and the participation of about 25 individuals. Some studies suggest that the volume of meat Neanderthals could obtain at one time indicates they may have prepared and preserved food for future use. Whether or not they mastered food preservation, specialists now overwhelmingly agree that Neanderthal subsistence methods were far more sophisticated than previously believed. Neanderthals were sophisticated hunters who developed various techniques to adapt to the challenging environments they inhabited. Evidence of traps made from tree bark or wooden traps would be lost, hence hard to prove, but given they hunted such large prey, this is very much possible along with natural traps. What do you think about their hunting technique? Please share your views in comments section. Kindly like and subscribe for more such videos. Thanks for watching.